motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Power Hour with two-time national champion Todd Uhlir. Powered by Window World of Lincoln and SetTheBarSups.com.
All right. Good morning, Husker Nation. You're tuned into episode 55 of the Power Hour with me, Todd Uhlir, right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com, where we talk sports, fitness, mindset, and life. Well, it's game day weekend, and the Huskers are set to take on Michigan State. So another classic Big Ten battle that's going to test every ounce of grit and preparation. We had a week off, so hopefully
it was a good week off.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, but today we're going to dive deeper than just the X's and O's. We're talking about one of the most powerful lessons that connects football, fitness, and life, the difference between motivation and discipline.
Okay.
All right. So, motivation might get you started, but discipline, that daily decision to show up even when you don't feel like it, that's what builds champions. And so with that heartbreaking loss to Michigan, our guys had to show up and put the work in and be disciplined to not, just, hang their heads and that kind of stuff. So long season, a lot, everything that they want to accomplish is still out there for them. So whether you're a Husker fan gearing up for kickoff, a dad trying to lead your family, or someone looking to push through your own grind, today's show is for you. Let's set the bar higher. Right now, it's the Power Hour. So let's talk about number one. It's Saturday in Lincoln. There's not a better place to be in the United States right now than game day in Lincoln.
I agree.
I might be a little biased, but so we're gonna find out. Both teams are 3-1. I think they both had off weeks. If I'm right, I don't think Michigan State played last week either. So I don't know. So they both are hungry for a big win, right? So this matchup, who does it mean more for? Does it mean more for Nebraska, or does it mean more for Michigan State? Well, if you're a Husker fan, it means
everything.
This is a must win.
It feels like it.
2 weeks ago, I sat here on the show and said, hey, Michigan is not a must win. It's a must compete, must show that we're taking steps forward. I think we did that in some areas, and obviously we're exposed in other areas. And so if you're, listening in, shoot us a text on the text and let us know what you think. How big a game is this? And is it a must win for Nebraska? I think it's a must win. We have to win this game. But I said that last year against UCLA too, and we lost that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I feel like towards the end of that season, just to kind of prove that Nebraska could have potential in that following season. Now this season, those games towards the end of the stretch, those were must wins.
Yeah.
And we just didn't win them.
So I really, honestly, I've been so busy when the world's been crazy. My online business has been crazy. We're launching a new product next week. It's just been, so I haven't had a lot of time to really look into what Michigan State has. I watched their first series against USC 2 weeks ago, and they scored easily on USC, and then obviously lost that game. But so I don't really know anything about Michigan State, but I do know quite a bit about Nebraska, right? So our quarterback sounds like over the last 2 weeks has stepped up in a leadership way, been more vocal. I mean, I think it was really hard for Dylan last year to try to come in and be a leader being a true freshman, right? Like, and I mean, I think he had to earn that. And I think for sure what he did against Michigan State gave him that, hey, I'm going to stand in here. I'm going to go to battle with you guys. I'm going to take the shots. He took some shots, man.
Yeah. Some
and got back up.
shots.
And got back up and you never gave up. And that's something you want in a leader, right? So I think and then obviously I think he's number 3 in completion percentage, which, cool. I don't know if I ever want to lead in that. We wanted to lead in rushing, right? Like, and so I think that's good. Can we establish the run? Obviously, we couldn't against Michigan. Can we stop the run? We couldn't do that against Michigan, right? So those are things. Have we improved over the last 2 weeks with the week off? We should be fairly healthy, I'm guessing. I watched a couple of the press conferences. It doesn't sound like, we're missing any key people. So we should have everybody ready to go physically. So then it comes into just who wants it more.
Yeah.
Right. We're in Memorial Stadium. We need to set the tone. I know we lost to Michigan last week, so we need to start a new streak of home wins.
I agree.
Right. And just know that when people come into our house, we're going to take care of business. Right. And I think, I'm always the optimist. Let's win every home game for the next, the rest of this year and the next 2 years. Let's start something that, and just know that, hey, we're going to win at home. I think if you do that in the Big Ten, you're going to do pretty well.
This year, do you think that's possible?
Yeah, why not? I honestly, after watching the film against Michigan, you take those 3 plays out, we win that game. Right? So,
sure.
And if you look at some of the key things that happened on those 3 plays, we had people out of position. And not because our D coordinator had them on the wrong call. They just they didn't take care of their responsibility. They take care of their responsibilities. We beat Michigan. All right. I think we can beat anybody at home.
Yeah.
We have a heck of a home field advantage with the crowd. We saw that with Michigan jumping off sides, different things. And then can we get a stop on 3rd down when we need it?
Yeah. That's what
right?
I want to see happen, because
that has been a curse that we need to stop, right now. Like this week, we need to go, get out, especially 3rd and long. Like, my goodness, 3 of them 2 weeks ago that, could have got us the ball back, could have made that a little tighter game. And then it was, because honestly, we didn't have a chance at the end at all, unless we would have got the onside kick. But your chances of getting an onside kick are not very high. So, but I think, obviously our tackles were exposed. But once again, without effective running, that the one rush in from Michigan State's probably a 1st-round draft pick. And I love our fans. I think you guys are amazing. You just hung in there. We sell out the stadium. You're loud. But on the same token, it's not as easy as it looks, especially if we have no running game and you got to block, a potential 1st-round rush end. Like, that's hard to do. And he got no help, no tight end ship, no nothing. Like, and that guy was just teeing off. So, we were exposed in that area. We got to fix that. So, and it's fixable. It's fixable. Who knows? We may see Michigan again in the playoff or somewhere, or in a bowl game or something. Who knows? They probably won't put us against another Big Ten team in a bowl game, but, but we got this game now we got to focus on. And will our guys step up into that role of, hey, it's on me, and you have to take responsibility for it. Dylan came out and put the responsibility on his shoulders. It's my fault we lost. Like, that's a true leader.
And which I don't think it's his fault at all, but Like, thank you for
At the end of the day, he's
people
got to
want
make the
someone
plays,
to
right?
blame, yeah.
and that's the sign of a true leader when you put the like, hey, it's my fault. Like, you know, and he didn't say, well, if my tackles would have blocked better,
Yeah.
or hey, if we would have had a better running game, you know, I would have been able to, like, you know. So I think that's been a huge step forward. So sometimes a loss can teach you a lot, and I hope, for our sake, that they learned a lot from that loss, that they can take those lessons and turn them into more wins down there. And we're going to find out today. 3:00 kickoff or something like that. It's going to be loud. Michigan State, once again, they're 3-1. I don't know who they beat. I haven't even looked.
They beat Boston College in
Okay.
overtime.
Boston College in overtime, who we destroyed last year, right? In the bowl game.
Well,
Didn't we
hold
play
on.
them in the bowl?
Losses are that wasn't even the question. I don't even know why I said that.
Who'd they play?
Boston College. They lost to Rutgers.
USC.
No, that was last year. Why am I looking at it?
You're in the wrong year.
Who am I? USC. Wait, where am I?
They lost to USC.
Let's rein it in, Ellie.
Who did they play before that? Like, you got the computer.
I know. I got the computer. They played USC on September 20th. I think, like I said, they had a bye week.
Yeah, they had a bye week.
Yeah.
Same as us.
Yep. So both teams coming off of a bye week.
It always seems like we get big games with people coming off bye weeks. It always seems like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Big Ten does that on purpose. What?
Well, coming off of Michigan and having to dwell on that for
2 weeks, it's been rough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd rather have seen us play last weekend, but hey, we can't change the schedule. We can't.
Yeah.
So who else did they play? Did they beat Rutgers?
That was last year. They lost to Rutgers last year. They've played Youngstown State.
Okay, yeah. Bo Pelini's old place.
Boston College, obviously, they won by a safety in overtime.
Okay, so they did beat Boston in College in overtime.
Only by 2, and then lost to USC. Right. And then there was a WMU. They won by.
So they really haven't. I mean, they played USC.
USC is the only real competition I would.
Right, and we would say that we're going to find out today. Today, did Cincinnati play somebody good today? Can't think who.
I will check.
That'll be, you know, how good was Cincinnati? I think they're better. Once again, I said that after we beat them, that I think Cincinnati's going to win a lot of games. They got a pretty tough game today. Is it Miami?
They play Iowa State.
Iowa State, yeah. I knew it was. So we're going to find out how good Cincinnati really is.
Mm-hmm.
And
are you taking Cincinnati in that game? What are you thinking?
I don't know. What's the point?
I don't want either of them to win.
Right. Well, I want Cincinnati to win.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, because we beat them, and if they beat a top, what is Iowa State now? 10?
No, 14.
14. I mean, you know, and I have a little passion for Iowa State because Ben Bramer's there, a good friend of mine. Well, his dad's a good friend of mine. I coached him, when he was little. So, you know, I do want Ben to do well, but Iowa State can lose that game, so it looks better for our strength of schedule, right? Yes. So all those things will come into play if we are in the playoff mix, right? It's a big if.
Yeah.
I know I'm stretching a little bit, but
we can dream.
Everything's still in front of us with one loss, right?
That's what I'm saying. We as fans, as a fan base, I think are dwelling on a Michigan loss more than the actual team is. In press conferences, obviously, we're asking Roll, we're asking all the coaches, what does losing to Michigan mean? They're like, all of them, no, we don't care.
Right.
We lost. Get over it. Let's move on. Next game.
So, you know, talking about that, like, I still don't think this team has an identity.
No.
Right? Like Cincinnati, you know, Emmett Johnson had 32 touches or some crazy thing. Then the next 2 games were, just patsy games. Really, really bad. I was surprised at how bad both those teams were, but it was good to see us. But do we really have an identity yet? I don't think we do. I don't think we've had an identity for years.
Yeah.
You know, obviously when I grew up playing or watching and playing, we were going to run you over, and we were just going to out physical you. And Boyd Epley had a lot to do with that because of the strength program being ahead of the curve. And obviously Tom Osborne hiring Boyd Epley and saying, hey, get my guys bigger, faster, stronger, right? I still have the first book, my first ever program from Bigger, Faster, Stronger, Husker Power. It's like a collector's item. I was going to be a freshman, and I came down to football camp and bought the little program, and I still have it. I
still sell it on eBay for a lot of money.
Probably I would never get rid of it.
No.
It's going to my son when I die, and his son when he dies, and we're gonna keep that in the family forever.
Good.
But yeah, I remember. I mean, and we were ahead of the curve. Guess what? Everybody's caught up to it.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's your your team identity, and I still think obviously we played a Miami team that had way more talent on it than we did. And we beat them. Why did we beat them? Because we had an identity. They had a bunch of ballers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were disciplined to do the little things day in and day out in order to elevate our talent level to exponentially better than, the stars out there.
I like what you said with that. With obviously Miami at the time was a really huge baller. You're like big names. You're hearing them. But there's a difference between having a lot of good players, but like, are they working together as a team? And the identity aspect is like, what does that team look like? And that's why you win those games is because you're more a collected unit. Right now,
and I think a lot of our one possession losses in the last 10 years come down to the fact that we've changed coaches, we've different offenses, we just don't have an identity that we can stick to. And so I think that's critical today to see, or can these guys create, some kind of identity. And I know everything revolves around Dylan at this point. Mm-hmm. So that is somewhat of our identity.
Yeah.
Right.
But you don't want just one person to be your identity.
Well, and I'm not against it. I mean, we had Tommy Frazier and Lawrence Phillips, Scott Frost and Amon Green. You need, Tango and Cash.
Yeah.
So
it's
isn't
like
just Tango,
you got
right?
Emmett, but
yeah, and Emmett obviously has to have touches for us to be successful. Mm-hmm. I don't disagree with that, but just didn't pan out. Like I thought after the first run against Michigan, he comes out and has like a 12-yard run on first down. I'm like, here we go. And that was it. That's really all we got. It felt like. And so I think that's something we have to, and, Holgerson, I just read something. He goes, well, I'm not going to keep running runs if I'm not seeing what I need to see out of the runs. And we're in Big Ten. I mean, Michigan State is going to be big. They're going to be physical. Every Big Ten team we play is going to be big and physical. It's can we go out and just man up and beat them and do our job, right? One missed job leads to kind of chaos, right? So, and that comes down to discipline. I think and I talk about motivation and discipline, right? I think lots of the kids are motivated to put the N on the side of their helmet, right? And be part of something bigger than themselves. But at the end of the day, the guys that I saw really excel were the disciplined guys, right? Were the guys that showed up even on days they didn't want to and put in really good quality work. And I saw, I went to a lot of fall ball practices and I saw a lot of that and I felt really good in it. I still think we can win 11 games. Mm-hmm. I still think that. I mean, I may be crazy. And that's fine. You guys can all call me crazy
so far, and it feels like
so. I still, it does, and it, obviously at that game, it felt like we could be down 21, we could be down 28 at any point, but we didn't, and that's what I love to see this team fight back. And now, can we get a break? Can we, not throw an interception in our own territory? Granted, he's only thrown one interception. I'm not going to complain, right? That was a pretty bad one, though. I mean, it was right in front of us. So, but yeah, that's that. We got to find an identity, and who's going to step up? D-line. I mean, we've talked about that for 5 weeks now. Who's going to step up on the D-line and make something happen? Who's going to step up on the offensive line and lead that line? Because we're big, we're physical. We just had some missed assignments, right? And so who's going to step up into that role this week? And it's going to be something I want to keep my eye on. Is will somebody emerge like a Christian Peter, like a Jason Peter, that it's a leader on the, a Terry Keneally? Will one of those defensive line, because I still think once again, those guys played together so well and fed off each other so well. And we're just not seeing that yet. We're not seeing, I will do my job so well, and my guy next to me knows I'm going to do it. And so he can do his job and not worry about me messing up. Right. And I think that's what set, our best teams apart, was that you knew your guy was going to do what he was supposed to do. Right. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that's been really a lot of the problems we've had over the course of the last 10 years, and especially in one-score games. So
the level of trust almost.
Yeah. So
individuals.
And I mean, we're not going to be able to complain about, not being rested. Right. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be ready to come out. We need to and once again, we did last week too, or 2 weeks ago. I hate that it's 2 weeks ago. It's hard.
I know.
We can't, we went right down on Michigan first drive and, had an opportunity to score, didn't score. Everybody can say, yeah, we should have kicked the field goal. We should, whatever. If we would have got the first down or scored a touchdown there, everybody would have said it was the greatest call on the play. Like, I'm not here.
Guess what? That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
So, and then it felt like it killed our momentum a little bit, but we got a 3-and-out. We had another opportunity, right? Or I don't know if it was 3-and-out, but I think it was. We got the ball back. So it's going to be interesting. Michigan State's going to come. They're going to want to beat us, especially in our home. And that's the thing. Nobody's scared to come here anymore.
No.
Right. And we've got to make them scared. And so I don't want to just see us kicking a field goal to win it.
Yeah.
I want to see us pull away, win by 2 or 3 touchdowns, and make a statement. This needs to be a statement game. If you're coming to Nebraska, you are going to get all you can handle and then some. So I'm pretty jacked up for this game. I think all of Husker Nation is probably jacked up for this game.
Very anticipated.
But we're all holding our breath at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Because
I can't go into this saying like,
right? I'm not super confident yet.
No.
Right? That we can go
I
in
won't
and
be confident until after the first quarter.
And right now I'm not confident with Northwestern coming in here.
Mm-mm.
Right? Definitely not confident to that. And so, and that's all because of, once again, the identity of nobody is that scared to come into Memorial Stadium and play us, because we have lost quite a few times at home. Mm-hmm. And that just didn't always happen. So we need to start that. So I'm going to start today and say, we win. We need to set the tone in Memorial Stadium that we just don't lose at home. Doesn't matter if you're ranked number 1. Doesn't matter if you're not ranked. You're going to come into our house. We're going to put it to you. And I think Rule has a lot of that mentality. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that he's working with Ben Newman and John Gordon with the players. If you don't know who those guys are, they're 2 of my favorite, pretty much mental or mindset coaches. I've read a lot of their books. I've done a lot of their programs, and they talk about motivation versus discipline, right? So it's going to be a big day for Husker Nation. So, All right, we're going to go to break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of, motivation versus discipline, and maybe talk some more football. And so stick with us here on the Power Hour. We'll be right back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
The Nebraska Lottery announces a great new lotto game for our state, Nebraska Pick 4. What's so great about it? Well, it costs just $1 to play. There's a $6,000 top prize, there are drawings every day, and you could choose from 6 different bet types. If you like Nebraska Pick 3, you're going to love Nebraska Pick 4. So stop into your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and play today. It's the game you've been waiting for. Straight bet top prize odds 1 in 10,000.
Bagels & Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Go Hog Wild Pet Barbecue.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're going to keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get?
Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Back to the Power Hour with Todd Uhlir on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back here on the Power Hour. I'm your host, Todd Uhlir, and we're going to dive into some motivation versus discipline. Ellie, I completed day 2,149 this morning. I went over to Vasa Fit, rode the Hammer Strength bike. It's kind of like, it's an air bike. I don't like the Hammer Strength bike versus the Assault. I have an Assault bike at home in Norfolk because I live in Norfolk, believe it or not. I'm down in Lincoln just as much as I am back in Norfolk. So love Northeast Nebraska. I'm not leaving ever permanently, but well, we'll see. But yeah, so I went over to Vasa Fit and 2,149 days. So 307 weeks.
Wow.
That I have put in at least 20 minutes of some type of exercise. Now, obviously, I've gone through 4 surgeries in that time. So Rashawn, my good friend, the captain, would tell me that, walking doesn't count. I'm like, no, I walked at least 20 minutes for recovery and all those surgeries. Some of them took a lot longer to recover from than others. So 3 separate back surgeries, had my knee replaced, and I walked. Or like when I had my knee replaced, I wasn't able to walk. So I literally did like upper body exercises for 20 minutes because I could. But that was created because I had high blood pressure, and my doctor said, "How much cardio are you doing?" And I said, "You mean sets of 12?" Like, because that was cardio for me. And so he said, what if you just did 20 minutes of cardio 3 times a week? And then I'm kind of the extremist. I said, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it every day. So I did 20 minutes of Assault bike every single day for a year. And that started, and I said, I'm just going to do it for a year. And there's no excuses. I don't care. It just has to be done every day. And that turned into the Metabolic Morning Matrix. That turned into some other programs that I do. I work with guys all over the country, amping up their. I'm 50 years old and my metabolism is better than when I was in college because I train every day. I don't eat. It's not like I eat out of plastic every day. But I've kind of figured out my path, and I think everybody's different. I carry a lot more muscle mass than my typical clients, right? Most of my clients are striving to get to my type of muscle mass, but they're not there yet. So I can tell you with a lot, like day 1, I was motivated. Like, all right, I'm going to do this. I got on the bike for 20 minutes. It was hell. Thought I was going to die. I went 5.7 miles.
Wow.
In 20 minutes on the Assault bike, and I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, that's
I was gassed.
Yeah.
No, so
that's a lot. Like
a year later, doing it every single day, a year later, I could go 8.8 miles.
Jeez.
In 20 minutes. Still felt like I was going to die.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But I am somewhat of an extremist when it comes to doing things. So I said, I'm just going to do it for a year. And I got to a year and I'm like, I'm going to do another year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the whole first year, I honestly just did that. Like, it's all I'm going to do. It started in November of 2019. And June of 2020 is when I had my first L5S1 kind of bulging disc. And so literally could only ride the bike. And I got about 9 months through the first year and I'd lost like 10 pounds. And I'm like, this cardio thing's for the birds. And I almost quit.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm not losing any weight. And then I'm like, well, I'm not really eating very well either. So I said, okay, what's one thing I can do every single day for my nutrition that's simple and repeatable and not expensive? So I started doing a green supplement and a protein shake after every exercise in the morning. So I'd wake up, I'd weigh in. It's called the 5 W's. Wake up, weigh in. I'd drink 16 to 32 ounces of water. I'd work out, and then I'd drink my whey, right, with greens in it. And so that became the metabolic morning matrix. And I lost. So in 4 months, I went from 275 to 210. And that's all the changes I made. I didn't count calories. 4 months. Okay. I lost 60 pounds in 4 months. Yeah. I was probably 265. I probably lost 55 pounds in 4 months. Best shape of my life at that point. And then I had back surgery.
And then it just went. Yeah.
No, I came back and I had 6 weeks of walking. I gained about 6 pounds is all. And I literally ate. But once again, I was drinking my shake every morning after my walk. So it just comes down to doing the little things every single day over and over and over. And so many people in fitness that I work with want the results yesterday, but they don't want to do the work, right? So you have to do the work in order to get the result. You will never get any result from a workout you didn't do, right? And as much as I want to talk about mindset and how important that is, and I do think there's a lot to it, you cannot work out in your mind. Okay.
I wish.
Yeah, right. You can't lay there in bed and say, I'm lifting 100 pounds.
I'm doing 50 push-ups right now. You
right.
can't see it, but they're happening.
So, and I know there's a lot. I mean, I've read books. I've listened to things about playing golf in your head. Like there was a Vietnam POW. I think he was in there for like more than 5 years. And when he got out, he said, I played golf on my home course every single day in my mind to get through this. And when he came back, he was actually a better golfer post POW than he was before, because he literally played those shots and he'd see himself hitting those shots. So I would say the best way to use your mind is seeing yourself getting your butt out of bed. Putting your shoes. I always start with putting your shoes on, right? Mm-hmm. So if you
make your bed every morning?
Yep, every morning.
Okay, good.
Make the bed.
I don't trust people that don't make the
bed. Right. You got to make your bed like first thing.
It sets the tone.
Sets the tone, and it's your number one accomplishment, right? So I wake up. I typically always have to go to the bathroom, and then I weigh in, and then I go make my bed while I'm drinking my water. So, and just getting into that routine, right? So. A lot of motivation is emotional and temporary, right? So it fades when life gets tough. So discipline is built on systems, right? On your habits. You are your habits, 100%. Okay. Show me your physical fitness. Like, if you step in front of a mirror with no clothes on, I can tell you your fitness habits, right? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, you're obviously doing this, and this, and I would caution some people say genetics and all that stuff, and I agree to a point with genetics, like
there's your metabolism and things like that.
No, like just muscle growth. Like,
okay,
I'm built and I have the genetics to get muscly pretty quick. All right, there's people that I know that will never get thick. Like, they're just tall, skinny, lean, and it's super hard to put on muscle, right? So there is some genetics involved with it, ectomorph, endomorph, and a mesomorph, right? I'm more of a mesomorph.
What do those mean?
So an ectomorph is you're tall, skinny. All right.
I'm an ectomorph.
Yeah, you're an ecto. And then your endomorph is just your kind of just no matter what you do, it seems like you're carrying weight, right? It's just and then there's mesomorph, which is kind of your CrossFit dudes, your powerlifting dudes that, and once again, everybody has genetic capacities, right? based on their genetics. So, but at the end of the day, it comes down to systems, right? I've seen some tall, skinny people pack on quite a bit of muscle.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't like LeBron James, but he's an ectomorph. Yeah. He's very tall, very lean, but he's been able to, over the years, add quite a bit of muscle, right? I mean, I would say the same with Michael Jordan. You know, what he looked like as a rookie. Like him? I love Michael Jordan. He's the best. He's the best player ever. But Michael Jordan, his rookie year at 20, 21 years old, I don't know how old he was when he was a rookie, versus Michael Jordan. That guy trained an hour and a half every single day, even on game days. Tim Grover was his strength coach. Read Tim Grover's books. You know, Michael Jordan would have an hour and a half workout the morning before an NBA start. Like, you'd think this guy's already the best player in the league. Why is he working out an hour and a half in the morning? Because he had a system. Yeah. And it worked for him. It was able to get him to an even higher level and become what I consider the greatest basketball player. I don't even watch NBA anymore because Michael Jordan doesn't play. So you have to build systems. You have to build habits. And then you got to have accountability, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that's where my online coaching comes in, is like, I hold guys accountable to the fire. Like, did you do it or didn't you do it? You know, my number one accountability tool is we have a heart rate monitor that it's pretty sweet.
See if they're
so I know who's working out and who's like, yeah. And I've tried to put it on my dog and it won't work on my dog. So
wait, what is it? Like, how do you use it?
You put it around it goes around your chest.
Okay. Why wouldn't it work on a dog?
It just doesn't. I like too much hair or something.
Oh, okay.
So I actually had a really hairy client. We couldn't get it to work.
Didn't work? That's funny.
So sorry, Arnie. I'm calling you out. But yeah. So if you're, so, you know, so we know that, so there's systems, habits, and accountability, right? Like, if you're not being held accountable by somebody, and you can be your own accountability partner, I get that, but it's much easier having somebody else hold you, you know, and that's why teams work so well, right? Because I did more for, you know, the 93, 94, 95 teams because other guys were depending on me, right? And I knew my coaches were going to hold me accountable to a very high level, right? Than I could have ever done on my own.
Yeah. And that also helps you understand more your role on the team, of what you're doing.
So, and so life is the same.
Yeah.
Like, but then you get kids thrown at you. You get, you know, you got work, right? Like you said, you were the last person in here last night and first person in. Right. So you get stuff like that thrown at you. Right. And so without systems, without habits, and without accountability, it's easy to get lost in it. And I did for years. I'll tell you, dude, I got up to 295 pounds at one point. And that was not muscle. Not very much muscle. So, you know, so I get it. I've been through it, but that's where you have to build discipline, right? So, you know, I would say in a football, you know, we're talking football. You are super motivated for this season, like for fall ball. I know I was super excited for fall ball in 93. And then, you know, we got into when the varsity got here and I went to scout team run station. I was not motivated anymore.
Yeah.
At all. It was horrible. In fact, I dreaded most days, but I had accountability. If I didn't show up to practice, I'd have been off the team. Right. And once again, I did things for the team that I would never do on my own. And so, and because I showed up and I don't think I missed a practice. I might've missed one. I rolled my ankle, in 93. I might've missed one practice because I was on crutches, but
I won't hold that against you.
George Sullivan still told me, you got to practice today. I'm on crutches, George. Like, George was mean, but a great guy. I loved him to death, but
he meant well.
You know, I'm like, I'm on crutches. I can barely walk. He's like, well, we're going to need you out there. I'm like, I'm scout team running back. What do you need me for? We got like 5 of them, but I'm not
part of the well-oiled machine.
So, so I might've missed one practice in 93, but come spring, all of that showing up, doing the work, come spring, I was able to, you know, vault from 8th string to 4th string high back in a short period of time. And I think a week and a half in a spring ball, I knew my playbook. I was in my playbook. I was, asking Coach Solich, what can I do to get better? Well, you can do these drills. You can do this. Make sure you know your playbook, right? So, and I think that comes down to, are you disciplined or are you just motivated, right? And so that's a big thing. So for most people, when we talk fitness, right, they don't. I think everybody wants 6-pack abs,
Obviously.
right? I think if you were given the choice, hey, you got one wish, you can have 6-pack abs or not, you would take the 6-pack abs, right? It's not that they don't want it, it's the lack of daily follow through. Because
and how long it actually takes to get those abs.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I don't think abs. I've never really had a 6-pack ab. No.
Yeah.
But I'm saying everybody wants them, but as soon as you drive through or drive by a McDonald's or a Burger King or a Runza,
all that goes out the window.
You're like, and they've done a great job at marketing. I was obviously in the Burger King business for a long time. Do a great job of marketing and get you to think that, right? So I think we're going to find out today if these guys were disciplined over the last 2 weeks, and what that's going to look like. So it should be fun, for that. So I don't know. I would say, I would ask you guys, ask the audience, like, how do you stay consistent? What's one, text in, what's one way that, you've stayed consistent and been able to get past just the motivation and stay disciplined, right?
402-464-5685. Text in.
Thank you. I don't have that memorized and I can't see it out on the board.
I should have that memorized.
402-464-5685. How do you stay consistent?
Asking our score predictions.
So yeah, we'll do that in the last segment.
That's
I really
think on it.
It's going to be tough. I know we were like 11 and a half point favorites, and it just blows my mind that we are. But because
somebody believes.
What have we really done to deserve that? So I would challenge. So most people will go all or nothing. Like, hey, and I hear this a lot in my online business. Well, I'm either all in or I'm not. Right. I'm going to do everything right or I'm not. Well, that's just a setup for failure. I started with one thing, 20 minutes. I did it for an entire year before, well, not quite a year, 9 months before I'm like, what's one other small change I can do? And now when I train guys, or, we start with 60 days, like, give me 60 days of this one thing.
Yeah.
And they all look at me like, I just paid you that much money to tell me to do one thing for 60 days. I'm like, if you can't do that for 60 days, I might as well give you your money back and you go on your way. Right. Because it is about building one thing at a time. And I'm 50. I'm still adding one thing at a time, usually every 60 to 90 days. And now I've added so much that it's typically every 6 months or a year, I'll add another thing. Right. So, that's the secret to success, one thing at a time. And so I think I want to challenge everybody to just change one thing this week, whether it be exercise, whether it be your water intake, whether it be your sleep. Like, I'm really working on sleep right now. It's not working the best for me at times.
No, but it's so important.
But I'm really trying to, make sleep a priority. Especially now my kids are out of the house and I don't have a bunch of things to go to and keeping me up late at night, kind of thing. So I want to challenge everybody out there listening. One thing this week that you can do, even when you don't feel like it. Okay. So, all right. When we come back, we're going to finish this power hour up with a score prediction and just applying all of this to football and life. And we'll talk about our awesome sponsors, and we'll be back after this here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
The Nebraska Lottery announces a great new lotto game for our state, Nebraska Pick 4. What's so great about it? Well, it costs just $1 to play. There's a $6,000 top prize, there are drawings every day, and you could choose from 6 different bet types. If you like Nebraska Pick 3, you're going to love Nebraska Pick 4. So stop into your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and play today. It's the game you've been waiting for. Straight bet top prize odds 1 in 10,000.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Back to the Power Hour with Todd Uhlir on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back here on the Power Hour. I'm Todd Uhlir, and we're going to wrap this show up. We've been talking about motivation versus discipline. And really, discipline doesn't care about your feelings. It honors your goals. So I know the Huskers' goals are to win this game today, and we want to go out and do we want to predict that, Ali? I guess we will. But really,
you go first, and then I'll.
Yeah,
depending on what you say.
I'm in the we need to go out and I said establish people to be scared to come to Memorial Stadium and play us. So I think this is a great time for us to go out, score 42 points, hold them to 17. So I'm saying 42-17. That's what I want to see. And I think we can do that. And people call me crazy. That's cool. I'm all right with that. I think we have the offense to score 42 points on Michigan State. I think, obviously our defense is going to have to play above average that they have in order to hold them to 17 points. But I think we can. And that's what I want to see. I want to see us absolutely dominate a Big Ten team in Memorial Stadium because we've had 2 weeks to we had a week to lick our wounds. And then we had another week to prepare. And see how disciplined these guys are at making the corrections we needed to make to beat Michigan. We could have beat Michigan, in my opinion. And I don't think Michigan State's at the level Michigan's at by any means. So I do want us to go out and just absolutely destroy these guys. So that's my prediction. I could be wrong. I may be right. Who knows? But it's going to be a great day in Lincoln. I'm excited to be back in Memorial Stadium. I'm done with sideline passes. Unfortunately, I used them all up.
For Houston.
Yeah,
Christian?
I did Akron and Houston Christian because I was, my son was going to play, and then he gets hurt on his first ever Husker play. He's recovering nicely from surgery. Thank you for everybody that's reached out. It's been an amazing support for that. I feel horrible for the kid. His last 2 official football plays have both been season-ending injuries. I don't know. You want to talk about mentally tough?
Yeah.
You got to be pretty mentally tough to be this kid and be his dad. It's rough. I think it's rougher on me than it is on him. Obviously, physically on him, going through tearing your MCL, grade 3 MCL tear. Didn't need surgery. That was his last high school football play.
Mm-hmm.
And his first college play as a Husker ends up tearing his shoulder and having to have a Latarjet process, which is, go look it up. Look at some of the surgeries.
Fancy.
It's very painful. He's recovering well. The scar is still pretty tender.
Yeah.
But he's getting around. He's doing well in class. He's like got an A in organic chem.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I mean,
out of all things, that's the most impressive.
Yeah. So it's giving him a little more time to study probably. He got a 95 on his first organic chem test. And I said, I'm so proud of you, son. I would have got a 5%. And that was as if I guessed right on one of them.
You put your name on it, 5%.
Yeah. So I think we go out, we dominate this team, show that we can, and that's my hope anyway. And that's my prayer that we can, we've had 2 weeks. I know they have had 2, but this is a big game for us. This is a must win in my opinion. Because if we can't win this game, the rest of the season looks pretty bleak. Because Maryland on the road, Minnesota on the road,
just makes it
back home to Northwestern, USC, UCLA. Well, UCLA, hopefully they're not looking great. I think they lost a couple more coaches. But yeah, I want to. I want us to go out there. What do you think?
I'm going 27-21 Nebraska.
Ooh, you got a little closer to me.
I'm being realistic.
You're
with
being
myself.
realistic. I'm telling you, I feel it.
And I'll be really excited if we just blow them out.
Yeah. I want to predict that we're blowing because I do think they're going to come out very, very motivated to prove themselves and show that they did the work over the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to wrap this show up with a little power takeaway. All right. Motivation may light the fire, but discipline builds the legacy. All right. So that's one of my quotes. All right. And so I want you guys to cheer loud today, cheer these guys on to victory. And remember, champions don't rely on how they feel. They rely on what they built. And hopefully we watch the Huskers start building that home field domination today. So thanks for joining me. We'll be back next Saturday for another Power Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket. I want to thank WindowWorldLincoln.com, SetTheBarSups.com for sponsoring. You guys are awesome. God bless, much love, and peace out.